Hey, this is Raulh. Please act right. By now, I'm sure you heard about the woman who went to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, who was wilding out and started throwing this guy's pineapples all in the water because they say she was shortchanged. For all the people who said they would have done the same exact thing, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you a video of two black women in Indonesia who ended up getting locked up for 2 years. Now, as far as the pineapple throwing lady, some people say the guy overcharged her $300 when the drink was $30, which I really don't believe because I don't think they're serving drinks over there for $30, especially pina coladas. I looked it up, and Google says that the average pina colada is being sold for between $3.50 and $6. There is a point where she yells to the guy, "Where's my money?" I believe she gave him either a $10 or a $20 bill, and he wouldn't give her a change. Either way, look at it from this angle. The guy who's selling the drinks is on a floating raft, and as you can see, there's a yacht full of people right next to it. How is a private vendor like this guy swiping credit cards out there in the water? This is why I don't believe that she was overcharged $300 on her card. People, when you travel out of the country, exchange your currency for their currency and make sure that you get small bills so whatever the price of the item, you will have close to, if not exact change. This will keep this type of thing from happening. Also, you may want to stick around for the people who say that they would act just like she did. I'm going to show you a quick video from a Filipina Peas channel of an attorney telling us how bad it can get as far as jail time, or even beyond jail time, in these countries if you go out there and start acting a fool.
Not to mention all the folks saying, oh, I would have crashed out too. Y'all love trying to crash out in other countries. Y'all keep thinking it's sweet in other countries. Swear. Can't do group trips, bro. You will not have me in jail with you, bro. Please, keep all the ghetto stuff in America. I'm begging you, bro. God forbid. She might be in jail right now. Who knows? She wild, bro.
Now, I can't find any information to see if she actually got arrested, but some say she was. I really don't think it happened, because if it did, somebody would have recorded it and uploaded it somewhere. Because you know, when stuff pops off like this, people bring out their cell phones and start getting footage, just like the footage that you're watching right here.
And another thing, quit going on vacation when you're broke. Can we stop doing that?
Honestly, if she was doing all that because she was shortchanged less than $15, we can all assume that she was on a tight budget. And in some of these countries, you have to know that they're going to try to scam you any way they can, but you have to keep your cool.
Going on vacation when you only have $100 to spare. This woman threw a fit at Dominican Republic Resort in Punta Cana. Yeah, that Punta Cana. Because she thought that her pina colada was overpriced. Why can't we go on vacation with the same class that we present ourselves here in the U.S. in another country?
Does this woman have class in her own country? I seriously doubt it.
That lady who threw those pineapples in the water in Punta Cana was in a white country, she wouldn't have did that. If she was in Russia, Poland, China, any part of the Middle East, Japan, just wherever the skin is lighter, and you know they don't play them games, she doesn't do what she did there.
Traveling culture has changed, and I love that we are traveling more, but the level of class that is happening is most definitely has deteriorated. And yeah, if she would have done that in Europe, she would have done it in Paris, because that's just the type of person she is. I'm just sorry. Like,
with some people, you know what they say, you can take the person out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the person.
I can't agree with that one. I can't agree with that. And I'm not saying that's the type of person she is, but like as a whole, that flying culture has most definitely.
Why the f are you playing with people's money? I know y'all seen the video of the lady throwing pineapples everywhere. Kinda find out, instead of that person charging her $30 for the damn daiquiri pineapple, they charge her card almost $300.
And I don't have proof of that.
Yes, it gets that serious about money. She's on vacation. It's her money at that. You think she give a about them 5, 6, 7 pineapples that she done threw? This man literally charged her card for almost $300. Yes, it gets that deep. I would have did the same thing.
That's your money. And the way you want your money, and you don't want nobody taking your money, whether they be up in your city, in your town, in your country, on your continent. Okay?
All because she thought she was overpriced for her pina colada. By the way, she was arrested.
And I don't have proof of that either. But stick around, because you want to see what happens when you get arrested in some of these countries.
And all I gotta say is, was it worth it? That now you need bail money? Now that pina colada is gonna cost you 10 times, 15 times more. Be more respectful, people. And leave that attitude at home. You don't need to be going overseas to act that way. Y'all can act that way here. And if you're broke, just don't go on vacation. That's all.
The last thing you want to do when you're in a foreign country is act a fool and get yourself into trouble, because ain't nobody coming to rescue you.
Exactly. Do you remember about a year ago, 2 black women got arrested in Indonesia because in the news, they said that they were trying to skip out without paying, and for the mistreatment of a nail salon worker? Well, that's not what happened. I'm gonna let this video play, and then I'll tell you what they said happened, and you can clearly see that the salon people twisted the story to incarcerate these 2 black women. Clearly, there was a dispute over the charges for services rendered to the young lady in the white hat. The other black woman didn't have anything done, and she says it at the end of this video.
You will not call the owner. So until then, until you call the owner, I'm not leaving. Back up and call the owner. You laugh. I was coming to give you the money. We laughed us up. Understand? Okay. Call the owner. I have to call you now. Let me tell you something. Look, let me tell you something. I tried to be reasonable. Y'all, I asked you several times. Let me outside. I went outside to get money. You don't know what I'm going outside for. Why were you trying to hold me hostage? I got no service on her. Did I get any service on her?
Now let's watch it again, and I'm going to show you that the black women didn't do what they said in the press release. This is proof that they'll lock you up if they want to. When the news article came out, it said that 2 black women service in a nail salon in Indonesia tried to skip out without paying, and that's not the truth. Then they said that one of the black women grabbed the Asian woman and tried to pull her across the counter while saying to her, "I'm trying to be patient with you," which also was not true. The little Asian woman was acting a fool. Check it out.
You will not call the owner. So until then, until you call the owner.
Now pay close attention to how they set these 2 black women up. The Asian woman is actually grabbing the of the black woman with the hat on, shouting, "You need to pay." So the black woman with the hat on falls back to the table because the Asian woman let go. Notice that the black woman in the hat, she never left the store. It was the other black woman that left the store, and she came back with some additional money to pay the bill. As you can see, the little Asian woman is the one that's losing her mind, and the woman with the hat on never attempted to leave the store, while the other black woman comes back in with some additional money to pay the bill. And there's the proof that they were going to pay. She just said, "I'm going to give you the money, relax yourself." And then she goes over to the other black woman and gets whatever cash she has to come back and pay her. And the only reason the little Asian woman calmed down is because the black woman talked to her with a stern voice, which she needed to hear because she was acting a fool.
Let me tell you something. Look, let me tell you something. I asked you several times. Let me outside. I went outside to get money. You don't know what I'm going outside for. Why were you trying to hold me hostage?
So when they reported it, they made it sound like both the black women were trying to leave the store without paying. But as you can hear now, she said, "Why are you trying to hold me hostage?" But listen to what she says to the Asian woman next.
I got no service on her. Did I get any service on her?
So in case you couldn't understand her, she said, "I got nothing serviced here. I did not get any service here." That's why she asked her, "Why were you trying to hold me hostage?" Now, if I could hear that, even though it was muffled, why didn't the Indonesian police catch that when they watched the video? Because they wanted to frame these 2 black women. So they made up a story that the 2 black women came into the store, got services rendered, and tried to leave without paying. As a result, both of these black women got sentenced to 2 years in an Indonesian prison. This came out December 2023, And if they got charged those 2 years in prison, they still won't be getting out until this December 2025 for a crime, in my humble opinion, they did not commit. This is a perfect example of when people say they would have done the same thing as the pineapple throwing chick. This could have been the consequences for your actions in a foreign country. Now, let's go a step further so you can see how acting out in these other countries can land you in a position you may regret for years to come. If you haven't already heard about this story, this guy goes by the name of Vitaly. He was going through the Philippines harassing Filipino people.
Give me your scooter now. Give me your scooter now. Give me your scooter now. Okay, take me for a ride.
No.
Yes, you're gonna take me for a ride.
It's emergency now.
Please.
No.
I'm going with you.
No.
I'm going with you.
Oh my God.
I'm going with you.
Oh my God.
Stealing things like fans and LED face mask and stealing hats off the guards. And he also took a policeman's motorcycle and started scooting away with it. Now, I don't have the footage of it, but some say that he tried to take a guard's firearm from him. He also commandeered somehow a trike and was riding recklessly and hit another vehicle, which may have caused damage to a Filipino man's foot. His YouTube channel has over 10 million subscribers, and he was doing it to get views, which makes a lot of money. Well, he thought it was all a big joke because he figured the worst that was going to happen, that he was going to get arrested and then they would just deport him. But this has turned into a nightmare for Mr. Vitaly. He was joking around while he was having press conferences, making funny faces in his mugshot and carrying on like a complete child. But now, I'm sure the seriousness of what's about to happen to him is hitting home with him right about now. Take a listen to these two lawyers when they talk about the amount of time he may get if he's charged.
But if he's going to serve a full sentence, I would give an estimate of around 6 to 8 years. That's my estimate.
So the minimum charge, I think, will be 5 years per guilty verdict.
He said 5 years per guilty verdict. That means that if he gets charged one guilty verdict, he'll do 5 years. But what if he's found guilty on 4 different charges? That's 20 years in a Philippines prison. But keep listening, because it gets worse for this Vitaly guy.
Hearings in the Philippines, especially in criminal cases, are quite long. So just the hearings and trials alone, it would take him around 2 to 3 years before he gets a judgment of the case, and then he serves the remaining sentence.
2 to 3 years before getting a verdict?
Yes, that's correct.
Yikes.
I think that hearing the civil trial, I don't know, it's civil criminal, maybe it's criminal, it'll maybe last 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
She said, whoa, and whoa is right. It could take 2 to 3 years just for them to get to the decision on if they're going to charge him or not. So even if he gets off with no charges, he's still going to do 2 to 3 years anyway. And then if he gets charged, say the minimum of 5 years, in the end, he will have done 7, 8 years total. Now, take a listen to the standard of living he's facing over the next 2 to 3 years while he's waiting on the verdict.
He has no access to a cell phone. He has an access only to a cell phone to contact family or attorney. He is not allowed to vlog about anything which goes on inside the detention facility. He will live on the national stipend of 3 meals at 70 pesos a day. That's for all 3 meals. He will get special treatment. He will live in a common cell while an air conditioner.
Well, I guarantee you this Vitaly dude, he's regretting his decision of all this nonsense that he was doing. Him smiling in the camera and blowing kisses and all that other nonsense he was doing, I guarantee you he ain't smiling now. But wait, there's more.
Y'all think jails over here are like the worst thing in the world. And for somebody born over here, I'm sure it is. But you know that jails abroad are like literally run by the inmates, right? Like they decide who lives or dies. They decide who eats and who doesn't. You not talking to CO because CO is dead. Just remember exactly what I just told you. There's a reason why you very seldom hear about people doing this stuff in any of those other countries. It's a respect thing, and it's definitely a reputation thing.
Standard cell holds about 40 inmates in a space designed for maybe 10. Temperatures regularly hit over 100 degrees with zero air conditioning. The national food stipend, well, that's 70 pesos per day. That's around $1.25 for all 3 meals, y'all. During the press conference announcing his charges, this genius actually snatched a police officer's hat and made the loser sign while the secretary was speaking. He's literally digging his own grave deeper with every little disrespectful act he does.
So to the pineapple throwing lady, if they let you go with minimum punishment, you're one of the lucky ones. Because as you can see in this video, you do not want to go to prison in your own country, so you sure as hell don't want to go to prison in one of these other countries. And for all the people out there who said they would have done the same thing she did, remember those 2 black women who they obviously exaggerated the details of what really went down, and they still ended up facing 2 years in prison in Indonesia. So go ahead, take your asses over to these other countries and start acting a fool. But I promise you this one thing, all the other countries are watching to see what the Philippines is going to do with this Vitali guy. Long before his sentencing, they're going to start coming down on these foreigners acting out in these countries. Because every time I turn around, there's some foreigner acting a fool over there in Thailand. And I guarantee you, the Thailand law enforcement people are taking notes on this Vitali situation. Don't be surprised if real soon you start to hear a lot more people getting locked up for disrespecting the culture and the people of these developing countries. So going over to these countries and acting up can land you in a position where you'll stop and think to yourself, is being overcharged $5 to $15 worth spending years in an overseas prison? Oh, and for all you guys who are meeting Filipinas online or in person in the Philippines, adultery is against the law in the Philippines, with a possible 5-year sentence, same prison treatment. You guys better make sure that these women that you're meeting are not married by getting an original copy of her Cinemar, because the Philippines police are not accepting any excuses anymore. Now, you might be able to pay your way out of the sentence with about $5,000, but a copy of her Cinemar only costs $5. And if she refuses to get it with you, you already know she's more than likely married. And in case you didn't know, some of the cops who come to arrest you for being with another man's wife, the cop, the husband, and the wife, generally, they're all in on the scam. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please act right when you go overseas? Or the 2 black women in Indonesia serving prison time, or what's happening to this Vitali guy could happen to you. My name is Raulh. See you in another video.
Hindi po namin siya i-deport. Mananagot siya sa batas dito sa Pilipinas.
So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these 2 videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.